Hi, welcome back to the final whistle then for the Championship predictions week 13. We're a quarter of the way through the season now, boys. It's been quite telling so far. Some are running away with it, some are still in the mud. And Sheffield Wednesday have now got a points deduction, haven't they, to deal with? And they look like they'll be getting a new owner soon at some point when they've sorted everything out. But how are we anyway, Steve?
Yeah, happy. Just plodding along, playing Football Manager, doing better than Leicester are in real life, that's for sure.
We can only hope for a win on Football Manager, can't we, if it ain't happening in real life, Rich?
Oh, we are getting a win. We are getting a win.
I'm good. Where were you last night? Were you at Leicester?
I was at the stadium for the documentary premiere, which is out tomorrow.
I did reply to Jack's picture saying I didn't see you weren't looking that happy on Saturday. There was a lot of smiling faces last night, but I'm thinking at the Den last Saturday there was probably a lot of angry.
Bunch of fucking virgins, Rich, that turned up to that event last night. All a bunch of virgins.
A bunch of virgins. Somebody could have gone, but then they didn't end up going, did they, Steve?
Exactly. I wasn't a virgin. I didn't get, so I thought I can't.
Still brought a ticket. Still put money into the club. Rich, you're only piping up, mate, because you won last week. So we'll give you that this week, won't we, Steve?
Well,
managed to scrape a 1-0 win against West Brom.
You were probably on the way to the Den, so you probably didn't watch it on the telly, did you? Because it was the lunchtime game on Sky. It was best avoided because it wasn't the best game, but it was a win.
I watched part of it.
Yeah. West Brom were absolutely dreadful. They were very, very poor, Jack.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, they were dreadful. They were awful. We weren't much better. We were just a little bit better. Collins in.
Mr. Plum said they were awful. Yeah,
they were terrible.
Too busy looking for the next Ipswich.
All right, chill out.
Right, shall we get the scores on the doors then? Let's do the drum roll.
So a good result for Jack this week, who then he went back and watched the video last week so he could check out what scores we got. Post it in the WhatsApp group.
Shadow, Steve, isn't it?
Yeah, why he couldn't wait. He was so excited, like a kid at Christmas.
Right.
Oh guys, I went back and watched it.
You know what? I realised I'm still bottom, so it didn't make a difference.
You are, yeah. So Jack, you got 2 last week. The Bristol City Birmingham game, which was 1-0, and the Hull Charlton result, which was 1-1. I got the Bristol City Birmingham result correct, and Rich, you got the Sheffield Wednesday Oxford score correct. So going into week 13, Jack, you are still bottom with 11. I'm on 14, and Rich, you're on 16.
Oh, so he's finally into double figures.
He is. Yeah, it's only taken him 12 weeks to get there, but he's got there.
That's fine. It took us a long time.
Yeah, but you've inched a little bit closer. Mate.
Well, there's still a long way to go. We're a quarter of the way through the season now, and things are starting to watt up in the Championship. I tell you what, let's have a look at the scores from last week then, week 12. Sheffield United were 2-0 up, Steve. Preston come fighting back and won 3-2. A poor second half for Sheffield United.
It just shows that they've got a bit of a weak belly, doesn't it, at this point? Being 2-0 up against Preston. We all thought, well, maybe they'll go on to, well, I don't know if you all thought, but I thought they would go on to beat them quite handsomely. But, Preston got a goal before half-time, and then the own goal just after half-time, it turned it on its head. And Preston came with the result, they've beaten us at home, Ipswich at home, and now Sheffield United at home. They only need Southampton now to beat the sort of quadfecta.
I tweeted Steve after about 20 minutes saying Sheffield United are looking good for 3 wins on the bounce. They're my tip for the playoffs. That aged really well, didn't it?
Well, that aged well. It's Chris Wilder looked pissed off. to be honest, and
He
rightfully
always
so.
looks pissed off, though, doesn't he?
I like the way, Jack and Steve, that Chris Wilder never ever gives the opposition any credit whatsoever. Now, Preston have come from 2-0 down and they've done really well, but no, it wasn't nothing to do with Preston. It was all his own team, which it was a little bit, but come on.
Tanganga, yeah, gave him a goal.
Jefferson got the winner, ex Sheffield United.
Heckingbottom getting a win over his former club.
He looks happy at the end.
The biggest positive from Sheffield United is Tom Cannon got 5 minutes.
I guess.
Well, I shouldn't really say that because they hate him, don't they? But, well, we'll move on. Coventry, 3-1 winners in the early kickoff on Saturday. I mean, they were 2-0 up quite early on, wasn't they, Rich? Wasn't the greatest the first halves, but they did get the goals. Second half, they were a lot more better. And Watford ended up getting a red card, and they did also score.
I mean, another game where they scored 3 goals, Jack. The game's basically over at half time. I know, what was it, 2-0 after 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Look, I know Watford, I think they had some decent chances in that game, but Coventry just keep rolling on. You know, they're just scoring goals, racking up points. They're the early game tomorrow. So if they can win that game, they steal a march on everybody else. They're looking good. And they're going to take some stopping, aren't they, really, I think.
Yeah, they are scoring 3 goals at home in the first half. Watford didn't look great. But let me talk about Ipswich. Narrowly beat West Brom. Is West Brom one of the poorest sides you think you've seen this season come to Portman Road, Rich?
Yeah, look, I see Ryan Mason in the week saying, and I understand a little bit. Obviously, they had a game on the Wednesday night where we played on the Tuesday. So we had the extra time to recover. And it was also...
Jack, every bloody stream.
Sorry, someone at the door.
Yeah, look, we had the extra day to recover. They had another day to travel because obviously they played away at Watford. And I see Ryan Mason saying it was an early kickoff. They haven't got the biggest squad, but they were terrible, Jack. They were awful. They literally had a header on goal in about the 92nd minute that me or you could have caught, and that was literally as much as they done going forward. But we weren't a lot better. Subs made a little bit of a difference. Jack Clark scored again off the bench. And then after that, we had a couple of golden chances to make it 2-0 and wrap it up after that. But it was just one of them games where we needed to just get a win after, obviously, the 3-0 home defeat in the week against Charlton. So sometimes it doesn't really matter about performance. I think it's just 3 points that you need, and we needed that.
It is, but it puts pressure on managers, doesn't it, when you're not getting results? And West Brom don't seem to be happy with Ryan Mason. But Steve, Portsmouth 0, Stoke 1. Stoke picking up a good win. Victor Johansson made some good saves in that game. Stoke was defended well in big spells of the game, to be fair. Portsmouth do come knocking on the door at Fratton Park, don't they? They'll try and make it a tough game. I thought Stoke did well. But then Blackburn did even better. 2-1 winners against Southampton after going 1-0 down.
Yeah, well, we said last week that Will Still is really struggling, and it proves again that travelling up to the flood-stricken Blackburn Rovers.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. They scored goals after 80 minutes as well. I just didn't think they played after that.
It was raining and they scored goals after 70 minutes. Disgrace.
Will still in search for a win, boys.
I think he's gone. I think he loses this week and he goes. I think that's it.
Well, as Elton John says, I'm still standing, but this is it with Southampton. They still are at the bottom of the table. They're 20th? I mean, they had some great chances in the game to even win the game comfortably, but Blackburn fight back. Bristol City 1-0 against Birmingham. Derby have now started to pick up and all, haven't they, boys? 1-0 winners again against QPR. Rich.
Yeah, they got a couple of back-to-back 1-0 wins, didn't they, at home, Derby, and they really needed it because, like we were saying a couple of weeks ago, boys, they've really struggled, haven't they, Derby? And I thought they were going to do a lot better, but if you get 2 or 3 back-to-back wins in this league, you can soon shoot up the league. I'm not saying Derby are going to be anywhere near the playoffs, but if they could make it free on the bounce this weekend. Look, it's obviously a 3-game week as well, Jack, so You can make some move this week before that final international break in November, and then that's it done till I think March. Then, isn't it? With the old international breaks, which is it's good, isn't it? Because they're boring them 2 weeks in between.
I don't know. Being a Leicester fan, I'm looking forward to it. To be honest, it's nice to get away from football for a change.
It is if we don't pick up anything in these next 3 games, but we have to take it one game at a time. Being a Leicester fan at the minute, we can't always look over. But Michael says Connor Cody was a disaster on Tuesday night. We did lose against Cardiff, didn't you? 2-1. He may not play for Wrexham again. I keep saying this. He's not interested in playing. He's interested in talking shit. And it's the same thing every week. Hull. Steve, 1-1 with Charlton. Charlton leaving it to the last minute to grab an equaliser and snatch a draw.
Charlton, the surprise package of the season so far. 19 points after 12 games, scoring goals. Unbeaten in 3 now with 2 wins and a draw. It just shows that in football, if you keep trying, then you'll get chances. And they sort of huffed and puffed, and they finally managed to blow the house down. So it was a good point for Charlton. And to be fair, it keeps Hull's unbeaten run going as well. They're now, they've won 2 draws and 3 wins in the last 5. And they play a very beatable Norwich side on Saturday.
That's Rich's Christmas come early, that, mate, if that happens. Middlesbrough 1, Wrexham 1, Millwall 1, Leicester 0. I mean, Rich, we seem to be struggling badly at the minute. We've had 1 win in the last 8 in the league. Leicester's drought seems to be going on in Millwall. I mean, they could have had more than 1, to be fair. Leicester didn't turn up. Millwall got the points, and rightfully so, but Leicester have got to find a way, haven't they, Rich, to start winning games, because they're going to be falling behind if they don't.
Yeah, look, I think it's Blackburn you got in the weekend at home, and that's a game I'd expect you to win. Not saying it's going to be easy, but I think if you turn up there and you come out of the ground at 5 o'clock, you'll be happy with 3 points. You want to play well, I get that, but in your position at the minute, you just need to nick a win like we did against West Brom. It might not be the prettiest game in the world, but it's really important.
I'd be a bit worried if we're locked in there till 5 o'clock when it's a 12:30 kickoff.
Bloody hell, if we lose and get locked in, Rich, till 5 o'clock.
Early kickoff. It'd be outrage if we were locked in till 5.
Oh, you're 12:30. Oh, you're the early game. Oh, is that the main game on Sky?
I don't know, actually.
Well,
as a match-going fan, I don't tend to look at the TV fixtures.
Well, hopefully,
as all of us are, is what I'm saying.
When you come out of that ground, then about 2:20, not 5 o'clock, I don't think you'll be that worried as long as you can get 3 points. I think it's a very important game for you this week. I think it's an important game for your manager.
It is.
Because obviously it's not going great for him at the minute, and the noise grows if you don't get a result there.
It does.
You know how football is. It's all about results in this championship, and it's a very unforgiving league. A lot of them draws, like I said last week, if you'd turned a couple of them into a win, you'd have been sitting near the top of the league. And now you're 1 win in 8. So it shows that it's very fine margins. A couple of them draws, you turn into wins, it looks a lot different. You haven't won them, then you lose at Millwall, and then it's the end of the world, isn't it? That's the life in the championship, I think.
There is one positive on Saturday, though. I left 10 minutes before at the end of the game, and I got on an earlier train. Jack got stuck there for an hour after kickoff, so I was loving life getting back home.
All right, well, that's not really a positive, but we'll take it anyway.
Was it that bad that you couldn't see yourselves actually scoring, that you thought you had enough?
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm not having this. We were 7 minutes extra, added on time, and it was 87 minutes, and we had a chance to put the ball in the box, and it went wide, and I went, I'm done, I'm going, and just left and managed to get the earlier train. So much happier.
Well, yeah, it wasn't the prettiest, but we've got to win somewhere. It just feels like it's Leicester teams, individuals. It just doesn't seem like we've got a complete team. And, you talk about pressure, Rich. I think Marty is under pressure at this minute in time. He's got to change something. These 3 games going into the international break are massive for Leicester. And Millwall.
Who have you got Tuesday and then next Saturday? What are your next 3 games
Middlesbrough,
after?
then Norwich.
Middlesbrough and Norwich.
Well, Norwich, I think that's a way, isn't it? You could get a win there.
Better beat Hull.
Well, you actually probably want Norwich to win this weekend, because we all know how football. We all know as football fans, we're all very pessimistic, and you look at things like that and you think
we pray for days like that, Rich.
X team that they haven't won a home game, and then you turn up and you just think it'll be us. That is just how football fans you process these things.
Yep. That's the way Leicester is. We seem to do that to ourselves when teams haven't won for a certain amount of games or someone hasn't scored. We're the side who keeps on giving in this league. When Christmas is coming, Rich, you're getting an early gift. Sheff Wednesday 1, Oxford 2, Swansea 2, Norwich 1. When will it end for Liam Manning? Because the American owners of Norwich seem to be backing him, Rich. I believe they've flown in this week.
Yeah, they were over last night, and they'd done on their phone in called Canary Call on Radio Norfolk. He'd done an hour. I've seen little bits and clips, takeaways. They were having some stuff done to the stadium that the fans weren't happy because they were being moved. I think we spoke about that a couple of weeks ago when they were moving the away fans. That's been shelved at the minute, which I think is probably a good idea. But he's came out. He's backed the manager, Jack.
Right.
He said he's a good coach, X, Y, and Z. The one I think is under pressure more than Manning is Ben Napper, who's the sporting director, who he's appointed Manning. And he's the one. He appointed. I think it was Thorpe, the other guy, and then he sacked him. So if he sacks another manager, questions are going to be asked of him because he's making the decisions here. So I think he's the one who's probably under more pressure than Manning at the minute. If one goes, they probably both go. They also spoke about Marcelino Nunes' transfer. He didn't want to get involved at the time because he'd only just come into the club, the owner. I think off the back of that, they've probably said it's not a great idea what they did there. But you can't just keep... You can back the manager, Jack, as much as you want, but he's lost 6 on the bounce. You can't keep losing games of football because... It just ends one way. It just has to end one way in the end. But how long is that bit of rope for Manning?
That's it. This is short. This is as long as you make it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
You make. Steve, are Leicester and Ipswich fans feeling the pressure with Coventry running away with it at the minute? I think Leicester, both clubs are 12 and 11 points respectively behind the league leaders. It's a big gap to close. I think it's a bloody feeling of pressure, Steve, to know when Leicester's going to win our next game, my mate.
Well, yeah, that's the issue. Look, Coventry have done well, and we give them all the props in the world, as much as we hate to admit it. They are all the former team of the Championship, and they will likely run away with it. Now, I'd said after the last international break that they could easily win their next 6 games and be sort of 6-7 points clear at the top. And it's looking like that way. So fair play. I'd rather concentrate on Leicester and Rich would no doubt rather concentrate on Ipswich at this point. I'm not bothered about what Coventry do. If they get promoted, they get promoted. If they get relegated, they get relegated. Who cares? I just care about what Leicester's doing at this point.
Rich, what's your thoughts? Do you feel like the pressure, because there was a lot of expectations on this All-Stars Ipswich team at the start of the season? Is what people like to call you last season?
Yeah, look, I tend to agree with Steve there. I don't think you just got to do your own job, and we both haven't really done it, to be fair, at the minute, and that's why we are where we're sitting in the table. I look at Coventry's next 3 games. I mean, Wrexham tomorrow night away. I'd go for a Coventry win. Then they've got Sheffield United at home Tuesday. And then Stoke away next Saturday. Obviously, Mark Robbins and Stoke are doing quite well. But that's another 3 winnable games for me. I think they've actually won 6 on the bounce, Steve. So they're absolutely flying. And they're just hoovering up the points. And everyone else sort of keeps dropping points. Not just us, I think the whole division. So if you're consistent in this league, like they're showing, they're going to take some stopping. Look, there's pressure on Ipswich and Leicester and Southampton because obviously we come down with that parachute money, and everyone expects that those 3 teams will be up the top. If you're looking as a neutral at the division, it's probably a breath of fresh air that none of the teams who've got the money are anywhere near the top 6 at the minute. But we're fans of clubs that we want to be in there. But there's a long way to go. I'm not really bothered how we get promoted if we win the league or we're second or we go up in the playoffs, because ultimately it's the same prize at the end of the day, isn't it? I know you get a big shiny trophy if you win the league, and that's all great, you know. And if Coventry win the league, fair play to them. But I'd quite happily settle for second, and I'd quite happily settle for a day out of Wembley and winning the playoff final. It doesn't really bother me how we get out of this league.
Yeah,
Leicester and Ipswich in the playoff final.
Oh my God.
Me, Richard and Steve won't be talking for a bit. Well, me and Steve will, but we'll be slagging Rich off.
Well, you can slag me off if you want, mate.
No,
Right.
it is a league where you got to worry about yourselves. That's how football is when you're fans, that you worry about your own club and what your own club's doing. You should really.
Well, this is a week. This is a week. We get these 3-game weeks, Jack, that you can make up a lot of ground. If you win 3 games, the division looks a lot different. And if we both won 3 games, these next 3 games, we'd be sitting probably in the playoffs comfortably. If we don't, we'll be sitting. If we don't, we'll still be sitting in mid-table, around where we are at the minute. It's being consistent. It's being consistent is what we need to do.
And that's what Coventry are at the minute, with 8 wins, 4 draws, 28 points, a plus 25 goal differences. But it's about consistency when you want to win the league and get promoted. And, rightfully take the rats off to them. They're doing well. But like I said, I really need to focus on what Leicester's doing, to be honest, because we're not doing what we should be doing.
I'll be interested to see how they do fare if they have 2 or 3 bad results. Say they lose a couple and then they draw a couple. That's when they'll be tested then. But it might not happen. They might just keep winning.
Or they could lose Lampard to a Premier League club. He's doing well with them. So if they lose him, would they fall apart? I'm not sure. But look, again, fair play to them. But we're not rivals anymore because you're way ahead of us. So just go away.
Well, they always seem to think about mind the gap, but like I said, it's 46-game season. We'll see where both clubs are at the end of it. How are we, Sting? Are you well, mate? Right, we've done the chat. We've done the blah blah, as we like to call it on the page. Let's get into the predictions and let's get ready then for the Friday night football. The race course. Wrexham taking on Coventry, the league leaders. How do you think this one goes, Steve? What have you got?
So, I think it will be a 3-1 Coventry win. Wrexham, are they better at home? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I've not really looked at their form recently.
Not really work them out, to be honest. They've got
they drew one. They beat Oxford. So they've won 1 and drew 1 in the last 5 games at home. So fairly decent, but Coventry are steamrolling, and I can't see anything other than a big win for them. So 3-1 Coventry.
Rich, what you got, mate?
I was going to go 3-1, but I'm not going to do what you do, Jack, and copy Steve. So I'm going to go different. Look, I watched some of the game the other night, Wrexham Cardiff in the Cup. They did rest quite a lot of players, and they struggled. I thought Cardiff were good value for the win there. I think I'm going to go different than Steve. I'm going to go 4-1 Coventry. I could go 2-1, but I'll go the other way. They're free scoring. I haven't been that impressed with Cardiff, with Wrexham, if I'm honest. I still don't. I still don't think Parkinson makes the end of the season. I think he's a decent manager, but I don't think he's a decent manager at this level.
Yep.
They're probably expecting to be a little bit higher in the table, but I just think Cov will just roll them over. Early goal, 4-1.
Right. I'm going Wrexham 0. Wrexham 0, Coventry 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
that's like copying your homework, but just changing the last 2 answers, isn't it?
Well, I had it written down yesterday, so that's what I'm going to go for. I think Coventry will run away with this game. If Cov get the early goal, it could be lights out, all out. It sounds like I'm on the bloody Formula 1 talking about this and not the Championship. But I just think it's going to be a difficult night for Wrexham. Coventry are absolutely bouncing at the minute, and I think they'll bounce some more with the goals. I just think this is a game they'll very much win. So with Connor Cody at the back, mate, I'll be very worried. I'll be watching it through my fingers. But what's everyone else said? Wrexham have brought too many strikers. Parkinson will be gone by Christmas. Will he last that long? I know they like to back him after the promotions and that, but you have to sort of look at it where you are as a club in the Championship, to be fair. And if he's not,
I just think with Wrexham, Jack, I think just a nice steady season for them. You know, they might not want to hear that after being promoted, 3 seasons on the bounce, but this is the Championship we're talking about here. Don't run before you can walk. If you have a steady season, you finish around halfway. I think that's a good season for them. Then you have a look in the summer. You might maybe Parkinson. You replace him. I think they'll go for a bigger name eventually. They've obviously got good backing. They'll spend some more money. Then have another go at it. Then and try maybe push next season for the playoffs. But I think at the minute, I don't see him anywhere above mid-table.
Michael's a Wrexham fan. Pogson might be gone if they lose the next 3 games after the break. Not going to lie, it's the tactics. You've got certain players who ain't good enough either, but you spend wisely on them to go on radio stations and that. But that's down to you lot, isn't it? Not me. But there we go. Thanks for helping Leicester out. And here is Leicester City versus Blackburn. Lunchtime kick-off. Oh, Steve. Is the drought going to go on, mate, or will it be put to an end at the King Power on Saturday? Can Leicester finally get another win?
So Blackburn on a free-scoring side. They've scored less than 1 goal a game this season so far, but they've conceded 17, which is more than a goal a game. As much as we're struggling at the moment, Blackburn are struggling more. And I know they got a win at the weekend. They beat Southampton 2-1, but that was at home. Away from home, they're not as good.
They're a poor side.
Yeah, so I've gone for a 2-0 Leicester win.
Okay. Rich, what do you reckon? Do you reckon this 1 win in 8 scenario gets put to bed and Leicester start picking up the wins?
Right, I've got a question for you two. Would you call this a must-win game?
Yes.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think if you're going to be anywhere in the shake-up at the end of the season and you look at the table... I mean, Blackburn, that was a good win for them, Jack. I know Southampton have not been doing a lot, have they? And they'd have been in the bottom 3. They'd have been on 7 points. They're on 10, got the game in hand against us, which they're obviously going to lose now because that's how things work. You know, you're winning Blackburn and then your pitch was just shit and it flooded. So that will come back to bite you on the arse, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll talk about that nearer the time. Could come back soon by me. Don't anybody clip that up, actually.
No will.
I agree with Steve. I see a comfortable win. Comfortable, not spectacular. 2-0 win for Leicester. And you'll all go out the ground a little bit happier.
Jack, it's easy to say that. How much did Daka cost? None of your business how much Daka cost. £2.3 million Daka cost. Not the 23 million.
How many days now without a goal or games?
Like 332 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Not ideal.
Right. I reckon Leicester, we don't keep clean sheets, but I think we'll do it the weekend. I think we'll get back to winning ways, like Abdul says last night in the documentary at the end. We need to get winning and we need to get these points. It's a long season ahead, so I'm going 2-0 Leicester.
There he is.
Backwards. Oh no, that's what I've actually got. Actually, I was debating whether 1-0 or bloody 2-0.
Where's the Borough game? Where's the Borough game in the week? Is that at theirs?
It's at home.
Yeah,
we're not going to be in the shake at the end of the season. Hopefully, not near the bottom. Also, Oliver Skip. All right, Michael. No need to keep digging holes, mate. Bloody hell. Well, come on here and he's bullying us, Steve, over transfer fees.
I swear he's a Wrexham fan. Let him have it, you know. Let's be honest. They've got nothing going for them other than their Hollywood owners, so don't worry. They've not won any trophies, have they? So
hang on. Add that to the list, Wrexham. Have you been to Wrexham, Steve? Have you been down to Wrexham yet?
I've not been to around, but I've delivered around Wrexham before, yeah.
What's it like down there?
A shithole.
There you go. There you go. Add it
also,
to Hull.
It's Skip with double P. It's not Skip SKIP. So at least we know how to spell in the UK, in England compared to Wales. So.
Right. Next one, Carrow Road. Hull City. I've only won a handful of times here since 1972, by the way. I think I've won about two, 3 times. Can Norwich get winning? I know Sargent's been speaking about it. He can't do it on his own. He's on
Did
the
you
run.
see him, Jack? Did you see him? He looked absolutely miserable as sin in that interview, didn't he? What did he say? I can't carry it from my own 18-yard box and score. That's what he said.
And
I agree with him.
That's what he said. Yeah.
He's welcome.
What do you reckon?
He's welcome down at Portman Road. He's welcome down at Portman Road anytime. If you want to come in January, Josh, I'll come and pick you up.
What do you reckon, Rich? This one.
I mean, somewhere along the line, it has to turn. Surely. Mm-hmm. You two are hoping it's this weekend, I can tell. Because you don't want to be going there next week and they've still not won.
No. I want to draw. I don't want them to win to give them confidence. I want to draw. I'll be happy if they get a draw.
Yeah, because it ends that run, doesn't it? That they've got no points at home. I'm going to back Norwich this weekend. I backed them last time and they let me down at home. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Norwich win.
Bloody hell. I've got Hull winning 2-1.
Oh, I've got Hull drawing 1-1.
I knew you were saying a draw there. You give your game away there.
Yeah, I did,
I'm doing reverse psychology here, Jack, because I want Norwich to get absolutely battered.
That's all right. I'm hoping to see what happens in this game. I think they need to win before the players, to be fair, because we can't keep being the club whose gift that keeps on giving at times. So we'll see. 3-0 Hull. What's been your thoughts on Hull of how they've started? I mean, they seem to think they can push for the playoffs this year, Steve.
I think they probably can, to be honest. You know, I had them to go down originally, so they're doing better than I was expecting. But they've got a decent side, you know, and as we found out, they're good at keeping hold of a lead. So if you go a goal up or 2 goals up and you can defend that, then you're going to pick up points. So I think they could push for the playoffs, but they would have to get better defensively because whilst they're scoring, they are conceding a lot of goals too. So they need to shore it up a little bit.
Rich, backing up your stat, Norwich haven't lost to Hull in their last 5 meetings. They've won 4, draw 1.
Well,
so they have got Norwich sit 23rd going into this game, by the way.
Well, they're only second bottom because Sheffield Wednesday are literally got your points deduction and they're dead in the water, aren't they?
Yeah.
I say you keep digging, Michael, mate. You keep digging, mate. We're not going to react to. We're not going to belittle ourselves, mate, and think you can pull us in with them sort of comments. West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday. Bottom Sheffield Wednesday are on -6. The players are going to be paid this week.
They've been paid a day early.
They have.
Whoa,
yes,
that's nice, isn't it?
Well, this one hasn't been drawn in their last 6 matches with each other. Sheffield Wednesday kept a clean sheet in their last 6. West Brom, they need a reaction after that game against Ipswich. I'd call it a piss poor performance. Is what West Brom fans called it in the week. So, how do you reckon this one will go, Steve? At the Hawthorns.
I think Sheffield Wednesday, buoyed by the fact that they have no owner at the moment, get rid of Chansiri, which is nice. They lost at the weekend. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to change it. I was originally going for a 1-0 draw, but I'm going for a 1-0 West Brom win. I think the West Brom are a tricky side at home. They're not great, but they can win games. Whereas Sheffield Wednesday, they're not doing great, are they? 4 losses in a row. So, yeah, 1-0 West Brom.
I'm going 2-0 West Brom. Rich?
I think, look, if you're a Wednesday fan now, I'd see them last week. I know it's... Normally, when your club goes into administration, it's a disaster. But for them, it's totally different. They've got light at the end of that tunnel because they thought, where is Chansiri going? Where are they going? Now I think I'll see there's about 5 people, businesses interested in buying them. So you'd have thought someone will come in and say, look, Sheffield Wednesday are a massive football club.
Yep.
You know, you've only got to see what happened on the day when he went, Steve. Did you see when they were taking out the sea of the Chanziri on the stand?
Yeah.
They were doing a live stream and they had 83,000 people watching it. Just taking out seats. They were like in the shop buying shirts. They hadn't been buying nothing for weeks, had they? The tickets, I think they had, what was it, 27, 28,000 there. The result last Saturday was immaterial to them. It was immaterial. It didn't really matter. Going to that ground, you're thinking, we've got our club back. I know there's a long way to go and they're going to go down, you know, but they can literally start from scratch again. Hopefully they'll get a good owner, you know, and as a football club, I think Sheffield Wednesday, they're a big club and I don't mind them. I think they should be a decent championship team, you know, and you never know what happens if you get momentum, because a club like them, if they could get the right owner in, the right manager, you know, I don't know if a new owner comes in, does Pedersen stay? Because normally when you get a new owner, they'll probably pick their own manager in the end. I'm not saying they're going to immediately move him on. He'll probably stay there till the end of the season. And then you might see they make a change. I can't see him getting a result this weekend, if I'm honest. I'm going to go I'll give them a goal. I'll go 2-1 to the Baggies.
2-1. 500k they got in one day, just Friday alone last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And obviously the players have been into the mega store today as well, actually. You know, they've been helping the club out and that. And
I think they've done an open training session yesterday, Jack, as well. And I think they had about 1,500 because obviously it was half term. Had a load of kids turn up. So
it's good to bring them back together, though, isn't it?
Definitely.
The fans and the club, you know, because that sort of relationship, it's been pulled apart by one man, and it should never have got that far. But Birmingham, Portsmouth. Portsmouth have won their previous 2 matches against Birmingham. Birmingham sit 15th. Portsmouth sit 18th. 2 points between these two sides in the table. How do you reckon this one goes, Rich? What you got?
I don't think it's going to be easy on the eye, this game. They don't create a lot, do they, Birmingham? No. It was a 1-0 defeat last weekend.
5-0 Portsmouth.
He's getting a little bit narky. Obviously, Chris Davis now, because the pressure's getting turned up a little bit on him, because their fans have got big expectations. I don't think they thought that they were going to be sitting 15th in the table. You know, I think they had expectations to bounce straight through this league and be in the Premier League, and they're finding out now that it's very hard. Saying all that, I think home advantage will probably just about edge Birmingham. I think it's a 1-0 game, Jack. I don't see there being many goals, and I don't think it'll be one that you'd watch on the highlights.
I'm going 1-1. I think it'll be a draw.
I've gone 1-1-2. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, I've gone 1-1-2.
Copy in the air.
Mate, where you are on the table, when nobody's copying you. Nobody's copying you.
Right. What's owner said? What? Really? When did he say that?
Last season.
All right, we're going to the Valley. Charlton take on Swansea. Big point for Charlton last week against Hull. They sit 6th going into this game. Swansea sit 13th. Last time these two sides met at the Valley League form was 2-1 Swansea. I think Charlton, they win for me this one. I'm going for a 2-1 Charlton home win. You got the same?
I've gone 2-1 Charlton.
Rich?
I'm going to go a little bit different, I think. I'm going to go Charlton 1, Swansea 2.
Ooh.
Oh.
The old switcheroo.
This is how you do it, Jack. You've got to make up points. It's no good you copying. You want to do some out-the-box scores.
Yeah. Come on, Jack. Stop copying me.
Well, I might have one for this one. Oxford versus Millwall. Millwall are running quite well in the league at the minute, boys. They sit in 3rd. Oxford sit 19th. I think Millwall. I think this is a game they'll very much go and win. They're winning the games quite convincingly. To be fair, Leicester, Stoke, West Brom. They beat QPR 2-1. I think Oxford will give them a game, but I only see it going one way. 2-0 Millwall. What?
Well, I was going to go 2-0 Millwall, but I'm going to change it to 3-0 Millwall.
There you go.
Oh.
So you do it, Jack.
And if they win 2-0, I'm not going to be happy. I'm going to be really angry.
Maybe fuming.
Rich, what you got?
I'm going to go for an away win, but I'm going to go 2-1 Millwall. I think Oxford will score. Obviously, Gary Rowett up against his former club. They've got a chance if they get a win and Middlesbrough lose, they could go second in the league. Millwall. I mean, they're playing some great stuff. I've got a mate who's a Millwall fan, and he said they're playing really well. I said to him, I watched the game against Watford the other week when it was on that Monday night, and I thought that was two pretty poor teams. But look, they've got momentum. They're winning games. Alex Neil knows what he's doing in this league. He's got teams out of this league before. Could he do it again? Maybe. Wouldn't it be great? Millwall in the Premier League. That would upset some people.
Is that if West Ham stay?
Well, West Ham are absolute pony, aren't they, Jack? I mean, blimey, they are.
They'd want to play West Ham next season, innit? Whichever league it is. So we might actually see that one come to light next season in either of the leagues. Well, West Ham in the league at the minute in the Premier League don't really look fascinating, do they? But Millwall,
I think the local constabulary in London are probably hoping that doesn't happen, Jack.
I tell you what, it's a derby, that one, proper derby. Next one, boys, we're going to go to Loftus Road. QPR versus Ipswich. What do you reckon, Rich? We're going to come to you first with this one. You don't really have the greatest of records at Loftus Road, do you?
No, the last time we played there was the season we got promoted. My car broke down. That was the only game I missed that season.
Oh.
Bloody yeah, it was great. 1-1-0. Look, there's been a lot of chat, Jack, this week about McKenna and Celtic. And they spoke about it today in his press conference. He didn't actually... he said Celtic were a massive club, which they are. He said, look, Ipswich, he's concentrating on that and he wants to be the manager for a long time. He says all the right things, right? He's played a straight bat. Now,
as you do.
As you do, and you're not going to come out and say, oh, yeah, Celtic, I wouldn't mind going there. Apparently, he is a Celtic supporter and his family are Celtic supporters. The thing for me is, I think he's on reportedly about $5 million a year, Jack, at Town. He's on a real good contract because he got that new contract when we got promoted to the Premier League. There's no way Celtic, I don't think, could pay that for a manager. There's a release clause of somewhere between 8 and 10 million. Would Celtic be able to pay that after? That's obviously why Brendan Rodgers left, Steve, because they weren't spending any money in the transfer market. So do I think McKenna will leave for Celtic? No, I don't. But it wouldn't surprise me if he did. You know that. Yeah. All things come to an end in football, and I think, would it be a bad move for him and us? I don't think it would, because sometimes I would say at the minute we've become a little bit stale and a little bit predictable, and it might sometimes you need a new voice in your dressing room.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I want McKenna to go because I'm not. I'm just looking at it from both angles, but I think he'll still be our manager come the end of the season. The thing is, he wants to manage in the Premier League. Now, what is the best route for him to get to the Premier League? You could say it's with us. But if we fail to get out of the league this season, there'd be big question marks because we spent a lot of money. So you could go maybe a sideways move to Celtic, go there, win a lot of trophies, hopefully, and then you get your move to the Premier League. So it's one of those, isn't it? As for the game, QPR 2, Ipswich 1.
Oh.
You didn't expect that, did you, boys? You didn't expect that.
No, that shocked me. That did.
But this is another one I'm using reverse psychology because we are crap away from home. I'm hoping that we go and win away because we need a win away. But I think QPR are decent, Jack. I was reading I think everyone's fit. I think Ilias Chair's fit now. He's a good player, in this league.
Yeah.
So it's a tough place to go, close to the pitch. I think it's a hard game for us. If we can get the first goal, I think we're going to be all right. But we don't do that on the road. I think we've only scored 3 away goals. Mr. Bread and Butter scored a penalty, didn't he? I think a couple of them are penalties, and then we scored from a set piece. We ain't scored from open play away yet. So the pressure's on us. We need to back up. We need to back up that win from last week.
So
I don't think we will.
Basically, Rich, what you're saying about McKenna is that you want Steve Bruce to take over, and I'm more than happy with that. Bringing Steve Bruce, new ideas, fresh atmosphere at the club, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, that'd go down like a lead blue next Norwich.
I've gone for a 2-1 Ipswich win. I think QPR are a good side, but look, you got a win at the weekend. It will hopefully breed you some confidence. And look, I think you'll do it. I hope you don't, but I think you will. So,
I hope we do, obviously.
I'm going 1-1.
Bloody hell. Did you change it there, Jack?
Yeah, I think you might change that.
I did change it, actually. As soon as he said they've only scored 3 goals away from home and QPR are a good side at home, I thought, might as well give it a little bit. I don't think they'll beat Ipswich, but I think it'll be even scoring. To be fair, Ipswich away record's not great, is it? And they need Philogene to turn up if they're going to get anything out of the game.
Well, he's been turning up for me for Football Manager, so
Smodics is injured again in Rich. How long's he out for?
He got clattered at the weekend on his knee. He's had a little bit of I don't think he's had a big operation. He's probably going to be about 6 weeks. So he hasn't fired for us, Jack. He's not the Sammy Smodics.
Hello, Rich.
That was at Blackburn. It's not the Sammy Smodics who scored 31 goals in this league at Blackburn. I don't think he really fits into our system how we want to play. But we need him fit because we need all them type of players. He can score goals, and hopefully he gets fit and he can start firing. I mean, he's not got firing. Akpom, they made a lot of noise about signing him. He's not got going either. So it's either Philogene scores or Jack Clark scores off the bench, Jack, at the minute.
It's crazy. It just shows the attacking premise. Rich, we're going to start with you this one. Sheffield United.
Have you started with me at all so far?
I have started with you, actually. I'm going to start with you on the next one. Sheffield United derby.
Oh, another game that I don't think
they've won the last 3. They've won the last 3 Sheffield United against Derby, by the way. But after that Friday night game against Preston, do you think they'll bounce back, or do you think it could be more misery on Chris Wilder and Sheffield United?
Look, they showed in that game that they've got quality, but they also showed that they got a very soft underbelly. I think that game there, if Sheffield United go in at half-time 2-0, they win that game, no doubt. Preston get that goal literally on half-time, and that changes the game. And they literally come out, they look a totally different team. Then they score an own goal, then they get another goal. That says to me at the minute, there's a little bit of a weak mentality there. When things go against them, you need to be able to ride out them storms, especially away from home. I think they'll be all right at home this weekend. I think I'll go for a 2-0 Blades.
2-0. I'm going 1-0 Sheffield United.
I've gone 2-0 Sheffield United.
Lovely. Steve, Southampton, Preston.
I think we'll still... Sorry, Jack. Sorry, carry on.
They're in a pickle, Southampton. They're still standing still at this point. 2 wins, 6 draws, 4 defeats, 6-20 of Preston. I've got a few key injuries going into this one, but what do you reckon? Do you reckon Preston will upset them even more, or can Southampton finally get a win?
No, Southampton are really poor. And as I said earlier on, Will Still is under a lot of pressure. And I think that if he loses this, he could be out the door because they're already saying they're not fit to wear the shirt. They were booing at the other week. They booed at the weekend, losing at Blackburn, the away fans. So it's already starting to turn for him. So I'm going to pile on some more misery, and I've gone 2-1 Preston.
Who were they playing last night? They're under 20. Real Madrid they played, didn't they? Did you see the highlights of that?
European League thing, isn't it? That
I've got no idea. But Gavin Bazuna, the goalkeeper, nearly scored. Did you see his header?
It's crossbar, isn't it?
Play him up front, Jack. He looked great in the air. Just put it in the box on his head.
They need something because their misses against Blackburn were awful.
I think they'll get a home win here. I think this is must-win territory for these. I agree with what Steve said there. If they get rolled over by Preston, I think that's the end. Yep. I think he's gone. He's out the door. But I think they might just sneak a 2-1. I think if it was the other way around and they were going to Preston, I think I'd fancy Preston to beat them. But I think Southampton at home, I think they've got some quality players. It doesn't always work that way. Preston will know. If they can go there, your team talk, keep it tight for 20 minutes, keep the crowd tight, maybe nick a goal.
Yeah.
And then the crowd get on Southampton's backs, and that might be how Preston get a result here. But I think they'll just have enough quality, Southampton, and they'll get a vital 2-1 win. Still will live to fight another day.
I'm going Saints 1, Preston 1. A draw for me. I don't particularly see any of the sides winning the game. I think Southampton are poor. Preston, I'd probably fancy them more if they were at home. I think they'd probably beat Southampton, but away from home, the record's different. But they are doing well. So you've got to give them the due. I think that'll be all right. Where are we going next? I'll tell you what, we'll go to the Bet365. Stoke versus Bristol City, the battle of the cities. Bristol City sit 4th, Stoke sit 5th, boys. This one's I don't even know how to call this one, to be fair, because this is a very tricky game. Bristol City have got the second best away record in the league so far, by the way. Last time these two sides played each other at the Bet365, it was 2-2 in October 2024. Will it be another draw, or will either side cancel each other out and get the win? What do we reckon for this one, Steve?
I've actually gone for the previous result that happened here, a 2-2 draw. I think it'll be a decent game. They're both in form. Bristol City are pretty good away from home. So they beat Norwich out last time out away from home. They drew with Ipswich. No, it was at home, wasn't it? Sorry, the Ipswich game. Sorry. But yeah, I think it'll be a decent game. I think this will be the sort of, for me, the barnstormer of the week. It's going to be a bit end to end. So it's going to end up 2-2.
Ooh.
Rich?
I think this is a real tight game. It's a tricky one to predict here, because if you look at the weekend results they had, I think they both won 1-0, didn't they? Stoke got the best goalkeeper in the league, I think. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I tend to agree with Steve. I think it might be a draw, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
I'm going for a Desmond 2-2.
I'm sure he's doing this on purpose. No.
That's why I had down firstly, because that game, I was a bit 1-1 or 2-2. But then when I seen the last result on Footmob yesterday, I thought, I might as well just stick it in there. And if it don't happen, it don't happen.
Yeah, you've copied me 4 times tonight already. This is outrageous.
4 points for us, Steve.
You got, I don't know. Usually, if you back the same one as me, we don't win. So it's a bit of an annoying one. But you get the Watford one. You tell us what you want for Watford, Jack. Come on.
I will. I'll start first. Right.
Yeah.
Watford versus Borough. So this is the one where Rich likes Vicarage Road. Every prediction that he puts for Watford.
3 times. Three times I've got the correct
make it a 4th.
I'm going for Watford again today.
I think Borough will win this one, to be fair. I think they've got enough in the tank. They've to sit second. Watford ain't kept a clean sheet in 13 games, but Watford have won the last 2 against Borough. 2-1 Middlesbrough.
That's the 5th time he's copied you then.
Not the 5th.
2-1 Middlesbrough.
Rich, I bet you're going to go the other way now.
I'm going to. See, I'm sticking my neck out on the line. They've 3 times they've done me good. So can it be 4 times at home? Can it be 2-1? I'm going 2-1 Watford again, because that's the score I go for Watford at home, and they've done it for 3 times for me. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be another 2-1.
Lovely. And that's it, boys. All the best for week 13. When are we back again for the viewers so they know?
Monday,
5 o'clock.
Monday, yeah, 5 o'clock. Lovely. Look forward to that. We'll see how we've done from week 13 and predict week 14. Rich, what have you got coming up on your page, mate? What's happening over on the Suffolk Crunch?
Match preview. I've done it already. It's out. So go and have a look at that. I went through McKenna's press conference.
Yeah.
Everyone's thinking he's staying because he was big in Uptown. But I think there's more. What do they say? There's no smoke without fire, Jack. So I think there might be a little bit in that, if I'm honest. But I'm hoping that he stays. And then I'll do the review on Sunday. Hopefully the old reverse psychology will work, because I've gone, obviously, for a 2-1 QPR win. But hoping it's obviously the other way around.
There you go. Steve, we're back at 8:30, aren't we, for this one? Yep. Leicester and Blackburn match preview.
Have you got a Blackburn fan on me tonight, boys?
Yeah, I've got Ollie Collins on tonight. He's a Blackburn fan.
Yeah, I might tune in and give him some stick in the comments.
He is there.
Might get a few umbrella emojis out, Jack, for you.
You can bring the boat if you want. You can blow a boat up and put it in the water.
Who've Preston got out injured? He said Preston have got some injured players. Who've they got out injured, Jack? Do you know?
I think he actually did it today, actually. Give me a second. There was 2 that there was talking about today. Where is it? Preston. Where's the injuries? Injury table. I'm not sure. I am not sure, but they did say there were two fresh injuries.
Your teams like Preston, they need everyone fit. I think if a team like them can keep, I think McKenna will leave if they come calling. Can't take them any further. Ooh, that's. I don't disagree with that comment. I don't disagree with that, Jack. I think sometimes it does come to an end. He knows that it does. McKenna said today that he won't manage Ipswich forever, and he knows that he probably has to get us up this season. I'm not saying he would get sacked if he didn't, but I think he'd be under big pressure if he didn't. You know, with the money spent, everyone's expecting us to romp the league, aren't they? Championship All-Stars. You know, we got all these players that we signed when we went in the Premier League, because if we do come down, they're good in this league. But football don't work like that all the time.
Tell you what, though, Rich, you can, when you get your little boat out tonight, it'd be like Uncle Albert, mate, with his sailor's hat on. You remember when? You remember the episode, don't you? When it crashed into the thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was laughing at him, but no, it is what it is. What's the light target tonight, boys?
We got 49 last week.
We did.
So 50? Say 50?
Yeah, 50. We get good views, don't we? We get over 1,000 normally.
Yeah,
we do. I've done all
and
right.
we didn't have so much. We only had 23 minutes of waffle this week as well.
Yeah, exactly.
At the start. Sometimes the other week it was 41 minutes, Jack. That was where that Coventry fan was getting on at you.
They've got to start somewhere, telling you. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Subscribe to the Suffolk Crunch. Rich does a fantastic job reporting on Ipswich. I know Rich will be at Loftus Road at the weekend watching his beloved boys. Let's see if it is reverse psychology.
I wouldn't mind a goal like Harry Winks, like you posted the other day.
Oh, fantastic goal, wouldn't it, Steve? That one.
Cracker.
I didn't see it.
Didn't see it. What happened? We're not there at QPR last time we played them.
No, I've never been. First time this season, hopefully. So, yeah, never been, unfortunately.
He might have to repeat it for you then when we get this season, Steve. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, match preview 8:30. Join us for that. Cheers to the boys again. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you Monday night, 5 o'clock.